Hi, this is Karen with InspiredByGram.com. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be using some products from the Gilded Autumn Suite in the mini catalog. We'll be using the stamp set and some designer series paper along with some punches and the ribbon. So let's get started creating the card. Let's talk about the stamp set. We're going to be using the beautiful Autumn. It's a photopolymer stamp set. And we'll be using the My Heart is Grateful for You along with the maple leaves here. And then we're going to say on the inside, have a beautiful day. The designer series paper is on page 45 of the mini catalog. It's called the Gilded Autumn Specialty Designer Series paper. Now I know that's a mouthful, but let me try to show you on camera. I know it's probably not going to do it justice, but it's just beautiful. There's lots of copper and gold embossing in the paper. And of course the paper is two-sided, so we get plenty of designs to choose from. So here's one of the papers that you can actually punch using the punches. And those are called the Autumn, it's an Autumn Punch Pack. And here's some gorgeous Cajun craze with some copper embossed. So really, really beautiful paper. This one we'll be using in today's card too. So this just a snapshot of this gorgeous paper. Here's this beautiful stripes. That'll make a really nice box or a card as well. And here's some more just foliage paper. You can easily fussy cut out all of those images, which we'll be doing today. Okay, so that's the paper. All right, so let me just straighten up here and we'll get started. So lots of little pieces to the card. I think what we're going to do first is we're going to get all of our pieces out that we need to stamp and to create some of the punches. So I've got 4 pieces here. The other pieces I'm just going to set aside. And the colors I'm going to choose to work with today are Crushed Curry, Cajun Craze, Mint Macaron, and Mary Merlot. Okay, so I need the of course we need the Stampin' Purist mat here. So when we're working with photopolymer, we need a squishy mat underneath. All right, so this is the panel here that is going to be our focal point, this piece right here. That is cut 3 1/8 by 2 inches, and it's very vanilla. I'm going to use the Mint Macaron color. All right, and I've got the foliage stamp, and all I'm going to do really is just randomly stamp on the panel in all different directions. You want to make sure that you are going in different directions so you don't get the same kind of pattern when you're stamping. All right, so that's pretty good, and we'll call that good. The next step is we'll need to use our Cajun Craze. All right, and that we're going to use with the sentiment, which is My Heart is Grateful for You. And I'm going to stamp this over to the right side, but in the middle, over top of the foliage, so it looks like this. The next step is to work on the inside panel. And we're just going to simply stamp Have a Beautiful Day in Cajun Craze. I'm just going to stamp that right in the middle, actually. Okay, we're going to work on this a little bit later. Now our envelope, I like to stamp or emboss or add designer series paper to the envelope. I don't like to send a bare envelope, so I'm just going to take a Have a Beautiful Day and I'm going to stamp it along the edge there. Okay, so that looks like that. Now we're going to add the maple leaf. I'm going to choose a different color. I think I'm going to stamp with the Mary Merlot and the Cajun or the Crushed Curry. I'm going to take the detailed stamp in that stamp set and I'm going to ink up the maple leaf right over here in the corner. Looks like this. You could simply leave it like that, but I want to add a little bit of yellow. So we're going to take the solid stamp here, ink that up, and I'm just going to hover over the maple leaf. And I'm just going to stamp right down over top of it, and I actually got that perfect. Looks really nice. Now you could add some Wink of Style if you wanted to really make it pop. It's totally up to you. So that's our envelope. So now, since we have our maple leaves out, let's create some images here. So when you're stamping it, you want to make sure that the stem is on the bottom here, because it's going to help you punch out the maple leaf. So we're just going to create two, just like we did on the envelope. And I'm just going to hover over there until I find that it's lined up, and then stamp. Oh shoot, that wasn't good, right? Okay, so let me try that one again. I don't want it that dark because I won't see that yellow, so I'm just going to clean that stamp off with a chamois, and we're going to ink this. We'll just ink up another one here. We'll go this way, and now I'm going to take that solid stamp again, and I'm going to hover over that maple leaf and stamp down right over top of it, okay? All right, so that's good. We'll have 2 leaves. That should be enough. Actually, we could punch that one out for a solid leaf. So here in Vermont, we get those color of leaves as well. So they're actually like a burgundy color here. All different kinds of maple leaves are actually, what's today, August 28th, and we already have some foliage coming through, so that's pretty cool. I love this time of year. Okay, so now I'm going to take the autumn punch, and with the suite, you can purchase all 3 punches. They come as a combo pack. So we've got the oak leaf, we've got the acorn, and we've got the maple leaf. So I'm just going to simply slide this punch in. This is why I said you need to have the stem down here, because that's how we line it up on the punch. I'm just going to simply punch that out. And we'll punch this one out. And then we'll turn our paper and we'll punch that one out as well. All right, so we're done with the stamping. Now, I did say that we'll be fussy cutting out some paper, so I'm going to choose to take, let's see, I'm going to choose to take this pumpkin right here. So I'm just actually going to cut it off. And then I'm just going to simply take my snips and just simply trim around the pumpkin. It really doesn't have to be perfect, you guys. Just do the best you can do. I'm filming this video at night, so really I don't have all the best light, especially if it's a sunny day during the day. This room is really bright, so actually I didn't do too bad of a job. So we've got that one. Now we can take the paper here and we can punch a couple of, let's see, let me just take this clip off here. This is how I store my paper. I clip it together because it's easy. Let's punch a couple of these out. So in order to do it, I would suggest, let's work with this corner right here. We'll grab that these 2 acorns and the maple leaf. Okay, so the acorn, it's got the stem at the top there. So we need to punch it this way, and I'm right-handed, so I don't know if I'll be able to do this, but we'll give it a try. Oops, I'm sorry, I got that totally wrong. We gotta go this way. Had it upside down. So I'm just gonna line that up. I'm looking at the stem to make sure it's right in the center of the punch, and that's good. Now the maple leaf, we'll take that and we'll just slide this up and line it up. I look at the top and the stem of the maple leaf and before I punch it out. And then we've got one more acorn here, so let's trim that down, and we're going to, now this is where it's going to get tricky. I need a post-it note. One of the sticky notes here will really help you out. So this piece is not big enough for me to hold on to and punch at the same time. So I'm just going to add this post-it note here. It kind of acts as a handle. And let me just trim this piece down. You can fussy cut these acorns out too, if you wanted to. It works just as well. But the punches make it so much easier, to be honest with you, and it's a lot more accurate. All right, so we've got a lot of pieces here we can work with on today's card. And let me just move everything out. We'll assemble it and call it good. So I've got card base is Cajun Craze, and it's cut 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We've already stamped our inside panel. Got a little ink on there, but that's okay. It's 4 by 5 1/4. The card base, actually, I totally forgot to cut a piece. So we are going to do that on camera, and I'm actually going to try some different. I'm going to do this on the fly. So we're going to use this paper here. Let me just grab my trimmer because it'll be really simple. It's 5 1/4 inches here by 4 inches. All right, we'll call that good. We've got that stripe on there too, so this is going to be a tough decision. Do I use this paper or do I use the stripe? So, and I would like to, let's see, what I like to do is to kind of just look at it and figure out, try to envision those other panels going on it. I think I need a lighter background, to be honest with you, and something that's a little bit softer to the eye. So I'm going to add my adhesive to the back side of the stripes here. All right, we're just going to add this on to the front with a 1/4 inch border, all 4 sides. Okay, and then we're going to take our other panels here. This is the panel that's going to be for the sentiment. That is cut, let's see, 3 3/8 by 2 1/4. I think I got that right. All the dimensions actually are going to be on the description below, so I would just go back and refer to that. And again, this is a 1/4 inch border on all 4 sides. The next one is this panel here and this one. So this panel is cut 1 3/4 by 4, and this is 1 1/2 by 4. Okay, there's that pumpkin paper that we fussy cut out. Oops, my adhesive needs to just be rolled up a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to add adhesive on all 4 sides there. Now this is going to have a 1/4 inch border on the left side and the right side. Okay. And then this piece is going to go on our card front. So just run your adhesive up, and we're just going to set it over here about, I don't know, 1/2 inch in from the left side. Then we're going to take my other panel here. This one is cut 1 1/2 by 3 1/2, and this is 1 1/4 by 3 1/4, and 1 1/2 by 3 1/2. All right, so I'm just going to add adhesive up and down and a 1/4 inch border. Now this piece is going to go to the right side of the panel that we just added. Right about here, we'll call that good. Now we're going to take this panel and we're going to use some of that gorgeous ribbon, the Mint Macaron basket weave ribbon, and we're going to just create a knot. So I'm just going to wrap it around. And then we'll just tie a knot, and we'll just slide it in place after we get the knot tied. So I'm just going to wrap this around, push it through there with my index finger on my left hand, grab that tail with my thumb and forefinger, and pull with my left hand to create that flat knot. Now with this ribbon, I would highly suggest using some really sharp scissors. These scissors here I used specifically for ribbon. I'm sure you've seen me use them tons of times before. Now this needs to be, let me just slide this over in place here. The tails on this ribbon, I find that they kind of need to be on the shorter side because this is a smaller panel and the ribbon is a little bit, it's kind of wide, I would say. So you don't want it overpowering your focal point. Okay, so there's our little focal point greeting, and we're going to make sure we want this kind of over on the left side. We're going to add our dimensionals. I've got a few dimensionals here. I'm just using the rest of what I have on this sheet, and we're just going to add 5 of them. And then I'm going to find a bigger one here because I want it on the cardstock and I also want it on that ribbon so that ribbon is kind of staying in place. Okay, so now just take your thumbnail and just press in the middle, and then it's easier to peel off the backings that way. One more, being stubborn. Okay, so let's bring our card back in the picture here. Now I'm going to add this panel to the left of this panel here and in the middle. And then we just need to decorate it. So we'll take our inside panel that we'd already stamped, add our adhesive, and just add it to the inside there. Now let's add the pumpkin here. Here's the one that I had already fussy cut. It's really simple to do. You can just add some adhesive, or you can use a few glue dots would work as well. I'm just going to add it right down to the corner there. Now we'll open it up and we're going to add some of our maple leaves that we had stamped. And I'm just going to add one up here. I'm going to add one of these acorns that we punched out with the punch over here. And then let's add this one here. This is one of the maple leaves that we had punched out also with a punch there. And let's just add it there. So there's 3 right in the corner. I always like to go with 3. And I think we can call that good. So here's the card. I actually like it with this designer series paper as well. Turned out really nice. Oh, and let's see. Here's an envelope. I thought I had forgotten the envelope at first. But there you go. Here's this one, and here's the one I made earlier today. So for all the supplies I used in this video, you can find at inspiredbygram.com. Thank you.